Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the Voyage of Dawn Treader talk.
Yes, discussion.
Yeah. I will say that when I was looking back at I forgot to say this in the last video, but when I was looking back at the dragon part, they did change something for the original than the book, and that is that Eustace only told Edmund what had happened with Aslan.
Right.
In the book.
Right.
While in the original movie, he tells Caspian, Lucy, and Edmund.
Right.
But the reason that I like the book version better was because Eustace and Edmund had something similar.
Right, yeah, right. So like it gave more was it not death but emotion, I guess, in that scene, I feel like, or in that I'd say scene even though it's a book. But you get what I'm saying,
yes.
Like in that part of the story, it gives more heart, more of a bonding, mending kind of like situation to the situation.
Right.
So it makes it feel more authentic, makes it feel more real, makes it feel like family coming together, sort of. I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah. So we will talk more about the
That would be cool. They added that into the series, like they the Netflix series. They add like that part in. That would be cool.
Yes, if they would do that, that would be great because it's part of what makes both of them grow and to understand each other.
Yeah.
Because they butt heads too much, like a lot. You see that Edmund really disdains him.
It really is like Peter and Edmund a little bit because they also butted heads a lot.
And unlike Peter, in the other one, Edmund starts to see Eustace, gives Eustace a chance more than Peter would with Edmund. But we will talk more about Eustace's dragon in the remake later because we need to talk about the end with that.
Yeah.
Because, that's a very important part.
Yes, it is.
So in the original, after, because this is where everything gets backwards with how things go. In the original, after they were done with that island that used to turn into a dragon.
right. I'm thinking let's just dub it Dragon Island for now until we can figure out what the actual island's called.
It's the next scene is it's dark. Eustace and Reepicheep are playing chess. It's funny, but yeah, they're playing chess and Reepicheep smells something. It's the serpent.
Yeah, he smells something foul. He smells something fishy.
So this was the scene where Eustace
something fishy yet.
The sea monster, the sea serpent.
It looks like a giant slug. It really does. It looks like a slug and an angler fish. It's like if you stuck the head of an anglerfish on a slug. And that's basically what it is.
I don't know what noise they were trying to go for with them.
I couldn't even really.
It sounded like a guy with a stomach ache.
I know, it was. I'm not gonna lie, that battle was very anticlimactic and very kind of disappointing because it was just kind of lame. Because it didn't seem like there was an actual threat. It just looked like the thing was slowly kind of pathetically falling over the ship, and then they kill it, and then it's
But they didn't even kill it. They just pushed it off the ship and then ran off.
Yeah, what's
you get a better understanding of it in the book because but in the movie they just didn't portray it very well.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be Eustace's change because usually he wouldn't jump in to help and the first sign of his change.
Sorry.
The first sign of his change is when he steps in to save Lucy from the sea monster.
In the original?
In the original.
Yeah. I'm just saying it was kind of I'm just saying they could have done it better. If you're going to make it like the book, at least make it feel more scary. Yeah. It looks gross. It looks so bad.
It is the 1980s, but still the book did it better with that scene because for that we'll get to it later when it comes up again, but because Yeah. After that, they go to the next island, which has the Dufflepuds and the magician, which is where the remake had been before.
I like to call them the Puffle Duds because I think they're funny. I think it's more funny to.
They seem more threatening in the original, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't they?
I don't remember them, but I think I'll just take your word for it.
Like, it was scary, man.
I don't remember because I haven't seen it in a while, and I should have watched it earlier this morning, but I forgot to do it.
Lucy,
I keep hitting you. I need back.
Lucy sits down to take a rock out of her shoe, and she hears them talking in the original. This is the original, and the others walk on ahead. They go back to the beach, and she hears them and stomping around and stuff. And them talking, and she runs to the beach and starts talking to them. But then they make them sit in a circle, and they're like, asking you all kinds of questions about like, what are your weapons invisible too? Just until we release them, and a spear goes right in front of them. It was terrifying. And then they take them to the mansion, feed them. All the things are floating around, and they want Lucy to go upstairs to the creaky staircase, which reminds me of an old room that I know of. Like that's that reminds me of. So at our old church Providence, they had a room upstairs, and it was the staircase was just as creaky. And Philip always told me that there was a ghost or an old homeless person somewhere up there.
Okay, if it was a homeless person, like I would be creeped out. But if it's a ghost, yes. I know ghosts aren't real, so it's like, really, dude. Like,
so Philip mean to me.
I will say though, if it's like an actual like homeless person or like creepy looking person up there, I would be terrified too. I'm not gonna lie, like.
So she goes up to the room. She finds the book, and this is where we find out that she like had a problem with her looks and wanted to be prettier than her sister and everything. She does not take the page. Yeah. But Aslan appears and like talk to her about it, and she feels bad about it, and they changed the page to the one that she needed to read, and that's where she meets the magician, and and how like the Dufflepuds needed reassurance that they're not ugly and stuff, you know.
The Puffle Duds.
But
did it happen like that in the book? It did, where it's like reversed.
Because it's not like the remake where. So when they finally get there, the difference is because this movie has the mist. The reason that they were turned invisible was to protect them from the mist.
Right. Okay. So
I can't remember the reason why they were invisible before.
Because they're Puffle Duds. But yeah.
Also, I don't remember if the magician had met the other lords in the original.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They might have. I don't know.
I do think I don't remember the professor did or the magician. I don't remember the magician in the old movie. I do.
Looks like Merlin.
Yeah, okay,
or like, well, he kind of looks like Father Time also.
From the Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah, and so when in the remake when they get to there, they they keep it up. There's a whole thing of her wanting to, and like she wanted to be prettier and stuff. And in the remake, she takes the page for beauty and everything. Alison just says her name during that time.
I think she's pretty as she is though. Like in real life, I think she's kind of pretty.
Yeah, me too. So it really irritated me when.
Besides, it kind of also made me mad a little bit too because Susan's kind of like the lamest sister ever. Yeah. So like, why would you want to look like her? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't want to look like her. I mean, obviously, but like, I wouldn't want to look like Peter. Right. If anything, I would want to look like Edmund. If anything, I'd more would want to be Edmund. If I had to pick a character, if I was asked to play a character in Narnia, I'd pick Edmund. I'd pick 100%. Yeah. I mean, if I had acting talent,
yeah, I would pick Lucy because I'm a girl.
The two youngest were the best characters from the start.
Yeah.
Like, they're just the best character. As far as, like, the Pevensies, they're the youngest were the best character as far as, like, the Pevensies go.
I really enjoyed... Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the original better with, as far as Lucy not being so caught up about her looks.
That's what I'm saying. I hope they, like, merge that with the newer technology when they do the series so that it looks better.
Yeah.
I don't know if how I would feel if they, like, really, I don't know. I might like it. I don't know. I'm not very sure about how I would like the reverse if they do decide to go based off the book again for like this new Netflix series that they're making. I don't know if I would like the reverse because it kind of seems dumb to have a huge climactic battle and then go from that all the way to see a wizard or like, you know, like a magician, not wizard, but like a magician and some like invisible puffle duds or whatever, Dufflepuds or whatever. But okay, whatever. You get the point, right? like.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
Like, I might like it. I don't know. It's just I think that they did it better backwards. I just liked it better backwards because it just seemed like that, like a battle seems like the best way to end, even though it didn't really end it.
Yeah, and they have a mission. Like, they actually have
it gives
extra
them
mission in the remake as far as because of the mist.
It actually gives them an actual mission rather than them just like going on an adventure, quote unquote, and like. And it gives them a reason to actually be in Narnia because in the original they just get sucked into Narnia with like no actual reason really.
The only reason was to help find the lords, but that's it. Like that.
Again, that's not really a good. That doesn't really. That's not a big enough threat to just suck somebody through a painting. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to do that. Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem as, like, urgent to call them when, like, there was no need. There's no threat for them to come in and help with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I just felt like that was just... I don't know. I mean, that's just how I felt, was that the mist actually gave him a reason to actually be in Narnia rather than it just... Like, because that's how it was in Caspian. They had to come back for an actual reason. Like, there was an actual threat on, you know... So it just made sense for them to come back. And same with this movie. The mist gives them an actual reason to come back rather than just help, you know, be part of the search party. You know, it gives them, like, an actual thing to do.
Honestly, I don't remember exactly every single place that they found lords in the old one.
Right.
The remake, let's see, they found the first one on the Lone Islands.
Right.
I don't remember if they found one on the Dragon Island.
I don't think they did. I don't remember them doing that. I only remember Eustace training a dragon, turning back into a boy, and then they dipping.
Yeah.
Or them fixing the ship and then dipping.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm just saying, like, you need plot, you need some actual reason. Because it doesn't make much sense, you know, it doesn't make much sense to be a part of a mythical world that you're not a part of if there's no threat. There's no reason to be there.
Right.
No really good reason to be there, you know? Like, there's no... I don't know, I just feel like it was a lame excuse to bring them back in the original because... You know, they need help finding people and stuff. Like, they know how to find people in a world that they don't really... Okay, you know what I mean, right? Like, they've been there for, like, years, and then went back to the normal world, and then came back again, or whatever. But they don't know the whole entire world, that entire world, like, the Narnians and stuff do. So it doesn't make sense why they would be any help, because they don't know... like Narnian waters like the Narnians do. So it made a lame excuse for them to be there, unlike the reboot where they actually have a reason to be there to actually help fight another unit.
No,
I'm just trying to give good points as to why the mist actually works and why I think it's a lame that people think the mist is stupid.
That's good because, like...
I don't know. I just feel like it makes more sense.
Yeah,
it just makes more sense to me.
Yeah, this is why we wanted to do this video. Because, like, out of all three of them, I think that the remakes, like, for the Dawn Treader, there's a lot more reason for why they did the way that they did. I know it got a lot of hate, but we want to give it a good... what's the word?
Chance.
Well, not
a fighting chance.
Not a good, but a good vision of why it's so good.
I know. Yeah.
A good reason why it's a really good remake, even though they changed several things. And there are a couple things that are okay with the change, but not as bad as Prince Caspian, y'all. I'm just gonna say. So when they leave the island with the Dufflepuds in the original, they go through a fog called Dark Island.
Right.
Where they find Lord Roop and there's hallucinations. And that's where Dark Island is. I didn't think there was a Dark Island. I forgot there was a Dark Island in the
original
and in
the book.
The original. Yeah. So that's where they find that one. When they're looking for Ramandu's island.
Right.
Where Lily and Adele and them are.
Right.
So that's when Dark Island happens.
In the original,
the remake, Dark Island is the place where the Last Sword and Lord Roop are, and they have to defeat it, and it's their greatest challenge because that's where the mist comes from. Dark Island.
Right. Well, I mean, it looks like a giant volcano, pretty much, that's spewing green. So it looks like somebody's barked all over the. Okay, but here's what I gotta say. I need to say this. The whole the actual serpent that they have looks much better in the reboot. It still looks kind of but it looks more menacing.
But it looks more menacing.
It looks way more threatening than an anglerfish on a slug body
and the noise sounds better.
And they actually fight it. They don't just yeet it off the boat and then just continue on their merry way. They actually fight the thing to defeat the evil. It makes it.
Okay, it's
just better.
Yeah. So in the so they do get to Ramandu's island in the original, and they meet not only Lily and Adele, but Ramandu. They don't meet him in the remake.
You don't meet Ramandu.
In the remake, they don't.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I don't remember them.
In the original, they did.
Yeah, I know. I knew but I was saying in the reboot, I don't remember them.
No, they don't.
You only meet Lily and Adele.
Yeah.
I think.
And
the Blue Star.
The Blue Star.
The Blue Star.
Yeah. And Edmund doesn't love her like they do in the remake, or be attracted to her.
I mean,
but
Edmund is
funny.
In his teens, supposedly.
Yeah. But in the remake, they first land on the Dragon Island.
Yeah. And again, the mist makes more sense in that scene because it makes more him turning into a dragon makes more sense in that scene because the mist, the mist makes more sense in some scenes like that, and when they go into the cave and they get because didn't they fight also in the original or argue Caspian and Edmund? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, okay, so
I can't remember what they were arguing about, but I know they argue about something. All I'm saying is that the mist also works in that scene as well because it's supposed to be mind manipulating them or whatever.
So I forgot when they found that island because.
What do you mean? It's the same island.
In the original, it's not.
In the original, they don't. Yeah.
The original, I don't know what island it is that they found this cave that turns everything to gold that touches this water, and also the gold only turns to gold what it touches. It doesn't in the remake where they just touch it and the whole thing turns gold. It doesn't do that. But the reason that they were the thing they were arguing about was that Edmund thought, like...
In the original? Are you talking about
in the original?
Yeah, okay, in the original.
Deep down, he wished he was the real king.
Mm-hmm.
Because after Peter, he would have been king. But Caspian's king.
Yeah.
So he would be the ruler. He wanted to be ruler.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing.
I mean, technically he is a king, though.
Yeah.
Because they refer to him multiple times as King Edmund.
And Caspian was going to throw Edmund into the water in the original. Because that's how you deal with things.
All I'm saying is that the mist made more sense in that scene just because it's supposed to be helping manipulate and not mind control, but like brainwash, I guess would be the correct word. It it just gives them more reason to fight or whatever, or explains more why they are fighting because it's like manipulating their like brains.
And they combined the people who made the remake. They combined the when Eustace turns into a dragon and that scene in the same island.
Right.
They didn't change the difference, which was a smart idea in my opinion. So I really like how they did that. Also, Eustace turns into a dragon, and they're looking for him, and he grabs Edmund, which I guess they made up for the part where, because he told Edmund he was the dragon instead of Lucy, but like that's like kind of giving homage to the book because he told Edmund, not anyone. He was the dragon, and
they were very creative with it too.
Yeah. And they also took the time for building Reepicheep and Eustace's
bond. Yeah.
During this time too, like their bond over time through the movie was great for the remake. I loved it.
Seth Rogen did Reepicheep Road. He did Reepicheep spot on.
Simon Pegg.
Not Simon Pegg, sorry. Not Seth Rogen. Why? I think of Monsters vs. Aliens.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. I'm sorry. I said Seth Rogen. I meant Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can't blame me, though, because they both have S names, and I already have a hard time remembering names as it is. Yeah. So, you can't really blame me for getting people mixed up. Yep. I want to say, Martin Freeman and Morgan Freeman. They both have M's, and they both have Freeman at the end of their names. If I said Martin Freeman in, let's say The Dark Knight, when I meant to say Morgan Freeman, you knew who I was talking about. Yes. I just might have gotten it mixed up. Because there's too many, Chris Hemsworth and Chris...
Pine or Chris,
any of the Chris names, any of the Chris actor name, any of the actor's name's Chris, I get mixed up too because there's too many Chris's in movie. You can't blame me, okay?
Right, I don't blame you. I was just making sure we were talking about the same person. That you meant, if you meant Simon Pegg.
Yes, I meant Simon Pegg. Yeah. I knew. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. I can visualize who I'm talking about. I just can't remember I can't match the name. Usually, sometimes I'm spot on, but usually I can't match the name with the person that I know I am actually envisioning because there's too many other names.
Yes. No, I get what you're saying, David. I'm gonna
have this problem when we do Star Trek. I feel I'm gonna have the same problem when we do Star Trek.
I would have the problem because I can't remember if it's Chekhov or Checkpoint. Because I always do.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to remember names. Am I the only person in this world? I can't be the only other person in the world.
I have trouble with names too. Because the other day, remember?
The point is, he did really good as Reepicheep, and I could not envision anyone else playing Reepicheep.
Me too.
Well, besides what's-his-face who played him in the old original. But besides that, I mean, the newer version, I can't imagine anyone else playing him. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, we'll have to because, the Netflix series is going to be coming out eventually. Yep. But I'm just saying,
So...
And he was funny, too.
Yeah. So
I'm also gonna have a problem with
after,
this. We do Mission Impossible if we
so
ever do that.
Yeah. So after that, they go to Ramandu's island,
Mm-hmm.
and Eustace is still a dragon.
Yep.
He flies and drags the ship along.
Mm-hmm. Because he's just a drag.
Yeah.
Because they're such a drag.
So
he's dragging on.
So in the remake, they go to Ramandu's island. They find 3 of the other lords. They are missing 1 sword because they gathered up the other 6.
Mm-hmm.
Technically only 3 because the other 3 were there. But and Liliana Dill.
But for story's sake, we'll just say they collected the other 3. We'll just skip the fact. We'll just skip that fact.
She points them to the Dark Island. They go to the Dark Island, and like, instead of it just being hallucinations, whatever you're thinking, it becomes
reality. Well, any bad thing that you think of is reality.
Which is why, like, Caspian thought of his father, and Edmund thought of the White Witch.
I mean, can you blame her? She's like appeared in all 3 movies, so like
it makes
sense though because she appeared in the second movie. So why would you not think she was gonna appear in some way, shape, or form in the third?
To be honest, I thought that. I mean, I didn't like that part just because in the Prince Caspian movie, he's the one who cuts her down.
Right.
Which means that, like, unlike Peter, she didn't have a hold of him.
Right.
Because Peter was lowering his sword, he wasn't going to cut her down. But I thought that was a way.
You have insulted, or what was that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good way of him,
killing his demons, so to speak.
Yes, but they brought her back, and I didn't like that. And also, it doesn't make sense of why that would be his fear when he thinks of the sea serpent, and the sea serpent becomes. So he gets to have 2, but everyone else has 1.
I mean, he's our favorite character, so I mean, can we give him a little slack here?
Yeah. Also, why did Lucy not think of anything?
Because she's too pure-hearted. If she thought of anything, it's probably about Aslan.
Probably.
Let's be honest, if she was gonna think about anything, it's probably gonna be Aslan.
Also, Eustace fights bravely here. He
actually does something. He actually does something. I was like in the original where he just grabs Lucy and dips. Like,
he actually does something.
Dips the deck.
Yeah.
Double-decker dip.
And he's also the one who places the last sword onto the...
Double-decker dip. That's what he did. He ducked, dipped, and dodged.
I have one question.
What?
The one scene that did not make sense in the Dark Trailer was, how did he get in the water? Why is he
Eustace?
Yeah, why is he in the water?
Because he swam. He jumped off the cliff, I'm assuming, and swam, like, towards where...
Do you not realize how far away they were?
Hey. I will never say that is impossible.
Okay.
Who's to say that Aslan didn't help him out a little bit? No, seriously, who's to say that Aslan didn't help him out a little bit? If Aslan is... Maybe you found Robo. Maybe you found Robo and it broke. Oh no! I mean, you're right. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's the only thing I can think of is that maybe he just swam, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It doesn't make much sense, but...
It doesn't, but, you know, maybe it's a little beam.
The fight, I will say this, though. The fight in that scene was, like, way better. It actually felt suspenseful.
Yeah.
Edmund almost dying, I felt like was good and bad. It was good because... It was bad because I love Edmund so much. I don't want him to die. But it was good because it gave more of a tense, like an intense, like thing. Because you're, oh my goodness, Edmund died, and then it revealed that he didn't.
That fight was great. I also...
Edmund got his moment.
Lucy, how does she know how to do archery?
What she believed. No, seriously, that's what they said in Language of the Wardrobe, is that if you believe in this bow, it wouldn't miss, or whatever. Isn't that what he said? Remember, isn't that what Santa Claus said to Susan when he gives it to her? He's like, if you believe in this bow, it will not easily miss.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. So, like, she probably believed. It was like, yeah.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like,
that would be a good explanation.
And then, as usual, Edmund gets his awesome fight scene. I still think that's Edmund's moment. Like, Edmund is the man in the moment.
Edmund is the best.
Come on, it's the coolest scene in any of the movies. He's holding a blue sword, which is my favorite sword of all time, by the way. And he kills the
yeah.
I don't know. He had the coolest scene in all the movies. In my opinion, he had the best scene, like, of all time.
Of all time, yeah. I love Edmund.
I also like Edmund and Caspian's relationship in 3. I didn't like Caspian in, like, his movie, but I liked him in 3, and I liked him and Edmund's, like, brother-like bond. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how they're, like, he even says, like, that he thinks of Edmund as a brother and vice versa. And so I'm like, that's, like, really good that they got really that character growth and, like, development.
That's really what they say, like,
and how Caspian basically willingly gives up Peter's sword in a sense for like that one scene so that Edmund could use it, and he's like, Peter would want you to have it or whatever, and then, you know, Edmund does the cool grab.
They also, like, in the silver chair and stuff, they do say,
I'll keep it on the pro. And they like grabs it. It's like, I'm still there. Jumps, hits the.
We're ramming into the rocks.
He smashes out the rocks, and then he's like, I'm still there. And then he like jumps over the zucchini-looking body. It's like just knocks on the deck. Gets knocked out for like 5 minutes, and then wakes back up, and it's like, blue sword. Whoop. You know what? I'll give it. Let me give you an example of what that scene like what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when Frodo and Bilbo's sword would glow blue. That's what it reminded me of, and that's why I like that scene so much, because it's like Edmund not only has the coolest sword in the world, at least in that world, but he also has the Frodo, like, it has like a Frodo effect where it's like, I don't know. Because it's like, their sword glows blue when it's evil's around too. Well, orcs and stuff, but that's still evil. So like, there's, you know, when evil's around, it glows blue. So I'm like, you know, let's go. I don't know. I was just so pumped when I first saw that. I was like, yes, let's go. Stab him. Let's go, bro. I'm rooting for you, Edmund. I'm rooting for you. I'm sorry. Edmund is my favorite character by far, and he will always be my favorite character.
Yep. We will definitely, in the character thing, we're not going to do a top 10 because there's just no comparing the characters because we love Eustace and Edmund so much.
John's going to think we're crazy because I think he watches some of these videos. Well, I don't know if he watches these. I know he watches our game videos or like keeps track of our game videos, but I don't know if he watches these. He probably will know. Or will now because I told him about it, so he might, but, you know, and he's gonna be like, what are these people? Are they crazy or something? Like, I don't know.
Hey, it's our opinion.
It's our
opinion.
There's
a reason why we like it, and we will talk about it in the next one, so keep off our backs a little.
Just saying.
Anyway, so for the endings, they both are going to Aslan's country.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's take out that part, right? The same.
The only difference is, you know, it's not a teary goodbye between Eustace and Reepicheep.
I know.
Because
that's what I like that about the reboot.
Also, I don't remember them talking to Aslan in the end of the. Like, I don't remember how the original ended.
They did talk to Aslan in the original, but then they also had that awkward moment where kind of like how where they got sucked into the painting. They just kind of like stand there like statue and then get like sucked and twirled into the air and get like sucked out of the painting. That's basically how it is.
It's not as meaningful of an ending as...
You have got to admire old technology and how they make things.
It looks like they actually project every single
I know!
time. Like...
It's just funny how they get like teleported. It's just the teleportation is hilarious. While they get like teleported in and out of the world, it's funny. I don't know.
I like the remakes better. As far as
except for Silverchair. Silverchair wasn't that funny. It was actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty like how they like
and fun. Like the only funny character.
I'm saying like how they get teleported wasn't that funny. It was like it was actually more normal because they kind of like. You know.
Yeah.
If they don't actually get sucked, they kind of just like walk through like a you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Another thing I love. Okay, I have to say this real quick. Another thing I loved about the Silverchair is they brought back the actor for Prince Caspian back to be Caspian instead of Voyage to Dawn Treasure. I did not Like, if I had to choose between those two actors to play Caspian, the original.
Yeah.
I loved him so much. He was so lovable.
Prince Caspian, like the original Prince Caspian, was probably my favorite out of the old, like the second favorite out of like the main three.
Yeah.
Like out of them, like Silverchair will always be my favorite, but as like far as like the main three go, I would say Prince Caspian was my favorite out of the main three.
Yeah.
But I still think Silverchair is the best one out of all the Narnia movies.
Yep.
So I guess Prince Caspian would technically be my second, but you get the point.
So, the remake's ending is way better in my opinion because they go into a beach and they meet Aslan.
Yeah.
And Reepicheep and Eustace's goodbye is so good. I love it.
It gives more heart and depth into their.
Yeah, it makes.
They put a lot of passion into their roles. I will say that the reboots that besides Peter and Susan and Caspian in Caspian, like the Caspian movie, pretty much everybody puts their heart and soul into their performance, which is why I like pretty much everybody in those movies, and minus a few characters. I think they put so much passion and heart into put an effort into their roles, so it makes it like more emotional in some scenes.
I loved it.
Also, in the original, they didn't even meet on the beach. They moved farther inland, and then they talk to Aslan, and then they get bad CGI world away, the world away into the so. But
I think Will Poulter did very well.
I will also say this: the way they actually transition back to in the reboot or remake when they transition back is also cool.
It's really cool because I know they filmed it backwards as far as how they become dry. It's so cool. It's so well done. And I'm just so upset that the way they ended it because it sounded like they were going to do Silverchair.
I know.
Because it's like, Eustace! Jill Pole has come over to visit. Actually, they don't even, they're not friends when they first come into Narnia and Silverchair either.
Yeah.
They're just trouble. Well, he's still known as a troublemaker, but he's
still the best.
Still see
him and Puddleglum are still the best characters in that movie.
Yeah.
In Silverchair.
We're definitely talking about Puddleglum.
Him, Puddleglum, and the Prince.
Yes.
Best characters.
Yes.
Just saying, they're my favorite characters.
Yeah, I didn't really like Glimfeather.
I didn't like Glimfeather. I didn't like any of the owl characters. I didn't like Jill, and I didn't really like the giant dudes. The giants. The giants are kind of annoying. Hopefully, when they do if they do a remake for that in the series, the new series coming out, they make the giants less annoying.
Jill is very whiny.
Also, they have tiny dogs.
Yes, they do.
They have sausage, little sausage, the little sausages that you can buy. That's what the dogs are basically to the giants.
I really
love giants.
Yeah, I really like that.
I hope they include the scene where Eustace talks to the dragon though in Silverchair.
That was so cool.
Yeah, where he just walks up to him and talks to him.
Because he understands the dragon because he was
he's a jerk, quote unquote, in when they're in the normal world, but then once they get maybe 15 minutes after they get to meet Puddleglum and he whatever, he actually goes back to being really nice and stuff, and that's what I liked about Eustace, is that he actually didn't eat he didn't really change. He's not like Peter, where he he actually changed and a little bit, and actually stayed that way for the most part. So,
So, time for ratings, guys. For the original Voyage to the Dawn Treasure, how about for accuracy and for enjoyability?
Accuracy, probably 9 because of the fact that the Eustace only told Edmund and didn't tell Edmund, Lucy, and Caspian. Sorry about that. And obviously I haven't read the book, so I don't know what other stuff they got inaccurate in the original, so I'll give that a 9 for accuracy. Enjoyability for the original, I would have to say that it was 6 maybe.
Yeah, I have to agree because I would probably.
Oh, you actually agreed with me on one? No, I'm just saying because we were all over the place last movies.
I think I will rate this the exact same with both.
I don't even remember what I gave the last movie. Did I give it like a negative number?
You said -2 at first, and then you're like, no, I'll give it a 1 because of the Edmund Trumpkin and action.
Let's be honest, they were the only good characters in that movie.
Come on,
Reepicheep.
Yeah. I mean,
Reepicheep, Lucy, Edmund, and Trumpkin, best characters by far.
In the live action.
So.
I mean the remake. Sorry,
the live action.
remake. The remake.
Yeah.
Remake, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would rate them the exact same for the original that you did.
Right.
How about the remake?
Remake accuracy is going to be a 3 only because you said it's not that accurate. It's the least accurate.
They just like switch things or combine things or stretched out different. It's like
they changed stuff basically. So I would just give it like a 3 because there were some things that were accurate. I'm pretty sure from Voyage, like the remake. I think there was a few things that were accurate. So I'll give it like a 3 as far as accuracy and enjoyment value. 10. Silverchair is definitely a 10. But as far as like the remake stuff goes, it's a 10 for me. As far as like the remake stuff goes.
Yeah. I would, definitely. I think I'd do a 4 out of 10 for accuracy, but I will give this one a 10 as well. Just because if I had to choose which one of the 3 I would want to watch.
Caspian can be at the bottom. We'll just stick that one at the bottom.
Caspian can go to the bottom of the list of everything. So
well, except for the original. The original can stay near the top. That can hang out with the big kids.
Yeah. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment down below how you would rate this movie and which of the Narnia movies is your favorite. So.
Or it could be any one of the books.
Or the books. I mean.
If you don't like those 3 movies, you can always pick one of the books.
Yep.
And just comment down below.
Yeah, because ours is Silverchair.
Ours will always be Silverchair.
Silverchair is always going to be the best.
Silverchair will always be numero uno. Unless, the original will be. I don't know how they're going to do it if they do it in the remake TV series. Hopefully they get it right. I hope they don't mess it up in the remake. Like when they do the remake series, if they do a season for it.
With their live action stuff of taking it from the anime and stuff, they've done some pretty accurate stuff so far.
So hopefully they do that with the Narnia series and they do it specifically with Silverchair. If they do with Silverchair, it might be my new favorite version of Silverchair.
Yeah.
If they can get it down. If they can get it down, I will be happy.
Yep. So.
And they don't make Jill as one. Oh, Jill was pretty whiny in the book too.
She was. I can't stand that.
It's funny that our favorite movie has one of the worst characters in it.
I wish she just wouldn't whine so much. That was the.
She's a complainer, but yeah, hopefully she's not as bad, or she might be bad, but she laugh at it.
Anyway,
if they can at least get Eustace and Glum to stay the same, I'll be great. I'll be fine.
Yes.
Definitely. But yeah. Anyway, sorry.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.